welcome to Out and About on the Recumbents. This is BJ along with Joe Linondo, and this is for January 8th. We did a lifestyle interview with Fox News. They wanted to check us out, and then lunch right afterwards. So, let's ride.
Hey, good morning. It's BJ and Joe Londo from Out and About on the Recumbents. And kind of another fun thing's going to happen to us. Fox21, a local TV station here in town, decided they wanted to interview us. It's really weird. We're getting famous or infamous. I haven't figured out which one it is. It's a pretty chilly morning, a little bit gray, but you can see there's a beautiful view of Pikes Peak right in front of me. I mean, that's awesome, lit by the sun. And we're heading over to America the Beautiful Park to do this interview. And right now we're on what we call the Walnut Street bike lane. It, as usual, is full of sticks and stuff, and just always is. That's the only bad thing about the bike lanes. For some funny reason, the city will plow the streets, but they won't plow the bike lanes, you know? I mean, but, hey, at least we got them. So at least when it's not icy and stuff, we got them. All right. Still love to know what that building is there up on the hill. I don't know what that is. It's fancy, boy. All right, so yeah, we're heading kind of the back way. Whew. It is chilly today. Like I said, it's supposed to be sunny, but we've had a real problem with excuse me. Little drainage here, sorry. We've had a real problem with overnight clouds just sticking around a little too much. Because there's sun underneath that cloud up there, but it ain't coming through. Whew. Boy, you can feel it. Definitely brisk this morning. Because actually it was supposed to be 40 degrees by 10 o'clock, but I don't think it's going to make it. Sure doesn't feel like 40. If you're ever in Colorado Springs where we live, this is a great restaurant right here. This is the Western Omelet Restaurant. Very good stuff. I've heard their green chili is really excellent, but it's too spicy for me. I'm a wimp. I am a true gringo. The only thing I can handle is mild. The milder, the better. So yeah, right now we're at the intersection of Walnut and Colorado Avenue. And we're taking the back way into the park. We're taking the very, very short Chikaris Trail. It's really like about 4 blocks long at best. I wouldn't have called it a trail. I would have called it a path. Okay. Got to get across here because this light turns in about 20 seconds. It really does, man. It doesn't kid around. Ah, they painted all the buildings over here. Looks a lot better. Wow, looks a lot better. Okay, like I said, yeah, we're going in the back way by the scrap yard here. That's what this blue metal fence is for. It's a big metal scrap yard. Oh, the trail looks a bit icy on this side. Well, we'll just have to go slow so we don't skid. Don't touch the brakes. Just pedal real easy. Luckily, we have the newish Schwablee Marathon GT365 or 365 GT. It's not really a pure knobby tire like a mountain bike tire, but it's a knobby block tire. You know, it's like the knobby block goes all the way across the width of the tire. But it does give us, and they also have a special rubber that they use. I don't know what it's called, but you know, it's supposed to hook up better, kind of like a snow tire in a way, but not quite that heavy duty. So it does help us on ice, because, you know, on a tadpole trike, the you know, the drive wheel's in the rear. Front wheels don't do anything. They just coast. They're just along for the ride. All right, so like I said, we're heading over there to America the Beautiful Park. We will, this is the Charis Trail here, and then we'll turn on the Midland Trail, which will, if you go the other way, will take you all the way to Manitou. But we're not going that far. We're just going right over to America the Beautiful Park, which is on the other side here, towards the front entrance. And we're supposed to meet Austin from Channel 21. That's a Fox channel. Sadly, we don't watch it very much anymore. We used to watch it all the time. They had great shows, but I don't know, over the last few years, you know, their TV's just not as good as it used to be, which is a real shame. Because Fox used to have all the good shows. Of course, now when I say good shows, see, I like dramas, stuff like that. You know, I can't stand game shows and sitcoms, and just not my thing. It's just not my thing. So, and that seems to be what everybody wants these days, is a goofy ass show, you know, like Survivor and that one about, you know, around the world and whatever, you know. Just, I don't know, it's just not my thing, you know. I get bored watching that stuff. Give me a good old drama any day. Since I didn't really make an exact place to meet him, I'm going to go to the front part here. Now, this is America the Beautiful Park. That's the Julie Penrose Fountain over there. It's not moving this time of year. They put the brake on it because it usually has a... in the summertime, it actually slowly rotates, and water goes through it and comes down through the circle part there into a little wading pool for the kids. So it's pretty cool. But like I said, it actually turns very slowly in the wind, in the breeze. Whew. I don't know what time it is, but yeah, we're supposed to meet him here at 10 o'clock. And I figure, you know, hopefully we'll be on time. I told him we'd be here as soon as we could. I hope this is where he's thinking of meeting us. Morning, gentlemen. Passing on your left. Yeah, there they are right there. So I guess we'll burn in here. Howdy! Oh yeah.
I love it. Hopefully it's not too chilly for you.
It's a little cold, but
I'm worried about that.
yeah, it's not that bad. We've got on layers, so we're pretty good.
Okay, well I appreciate it so much for just
Yeah.
meeting up with us. I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about you guys and just show everybody to our viewers. I know poking around on your Facebook page, you guys definitely have a following from the community, and I'm sure people spot you out on the roads if they do see you.
It's really funny. We've never figured out why people think we're, anything special to do. But
I think it's
all right,
cool.
it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, sir. I'm Austin.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm BJ. BJ.
BJ.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
BJ and Joe, right? Awesome, wonderful. So, truthfully, we were gonna kind of set up for the interview first, just to
Okay.
get that harder part out of the way. Not like it's gonna be tough questions or anything like that.
Okay.
But that way we know if we want to do a couple other shots, and then we might just hang around here, like I said, a bit, getting some extra video of you guys doing your thing. And
Okay.
that's about it. And then we're supposed to air tomorrow. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna go do
Great.
all the fun stuff, putting it together, and then 5 p.m. tomorrow I'll be able to send the whole link.
Oh.
You guys can't watch it live.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking if you guys are comfortable interviewing together, we'll just
Sure.
have you both kind of standing together. I might ask one more questions and then joint questions or what
Okay.
have you there.
Okay.
I've never been to this park.
Oh, is that right?
So
Oh.
this is phenomenal. You know, I just started 6 months ago. Hannah's about the same. So
Well, I'll give you a little history.
I wanted to see if you knew.
Basically, it started out being known as Confluence Park,
Okay.
and then they changed it to America the Beautiful.
Okay.
If you look over there, they've got a really fancy plaque that commemorates Kathleen Bates that made the song, and
Wonderful.
and
Nice.
everything.
Okay.
And this is the Julie Penrose Fountain.
Yes.
What's really cool about it is that in the summertime, it actually slowly spins,
Oh wow.
and water comes down to it, and the whole bottom is a wading pool for kids.
Gosh.
So.
Toss some coins or any way, shape,
Yeah,
or
well, I don't know if
Skittle paddle around
they
in there.
probably do that, but yeah, that's usually what it is. The kids just kind of have fun over there. They got their little playground over here, and of course they got all this. That's the new Olympic museum right there. We were really disappointed though, because when they first did this, the stairs were actually a ramp, so we thought we could ride up it, But luckily we found out that if we put the trikes in at an angle, we can go up in the elevator and then go over the sky
That's pretty
bridge.
nifty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was curious about your guys' travel path, and I'm sure once you guys been doing this for a while,
Yeah,
set routes
we
and
we
stuff.
literally know every little back street, every little how the trails do. That's one of the problems with Colorado Springs as far as our trails go, is that they don't connect well.
Yeah.
And if you don't know all the little back streets or bike lanes in the streets to get you over there, but so with us, we go all over town on these things, so we kind of have to find our way. So the only place we get totally lost is if we get way up north.
Sure. Okay.
And that's just because that, well, first of all, there's hardly any bike lanes up there.
Yeah.
And if what they do have is like really usually very short, it's like a couple of miles long. Because this is the main one. This is the Pikes Peak Greenway.
Sure.
And it goes all the way from Fountain down south, the town of Fountain, all the way up to Palmer Lake.
Oh, good.
It used to go all the way to the Greenland open space just south of Castle Rock, but they've let that trail die off. And
Shoot.
yeah, which is real. Eventually, it won't happen in our lifetime, but eventually they will have this is part of the Front Range Trail. It'll go all the way from Wyoming to New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's funny, my parents live up by Castle Rock, so that just blows my mind even trekking on a bike up there, but you guys are amazing. That's why we wanted to tell the story, really.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The
we
neatness
just.
of it, and truthfully, I'm kind of more of a political beat reporter. Like I'm covering Sheriff Floyd Ball being sworn in.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I want to break from all of this stuff. I want to do a fun story, and so as
Oh,
soon as I
well,
saw
thank
your
you.
that article, I knew we wanted to do something. Well, I love the fountain. I mean, you pick any direction, we got the best backdrop. So
Yeah.
are you guys fine just standing in the grass
Sure.
for a second?
Sure. No
All right.
problem.
BJ, I'm curious if I can position you about on this side.
Sure.
And then Joe, if you want to stand basically right next to him over here. And then Hannah, if you want to mic up BJ with yours, I'll give Joe mine and then
Let me shut off my camera. Well, hey, this is BJ Ondo again, and I don't know exactly what all I got on this thing. We got done with our interview with Fox21, Channel 21, and which was a lot of fun, but quite chilly. So we're back on the Mesa Springs Trail, and we're going to be well, it's the Mesa Springs Greenway. We're going to be heading over to Panera Bread once we pick up the Pikes Peak Greenway. Now we got some pretty good areas of ice still on this trail here. Feel the rear wheel slip a couple places. But the Austin and Hannah, the camera people and reporter from Fox21, were really nice to deal with. They were fun. Very professional, and we hope you all enjoyed if you get to see it. It's supposed to be, I think he said it was supposed to be on at 5 o'clock tonight on Fox 21 in Colorado Springs here. So we'll have to see, you know, because we talked for quite a bit, but who knows if, you know, by the time it gets on the news, they usually cut it pretty short. We're at Uena Street, which is a major street, so it's really busy. I'm going to jump out in front of you, Joe, when the light changes. Morning. Sorry, but as you know, we have non-suspension trikes, so hit some of them little icebergs. Boy, it just makes you bounce all over the place. Like I said, we're heading up to Panera Bread, get some hot tea. Because even though the sun finally came out, looks like most of the clouds are pretty much gone. So it should stay out for a while. Seemed like it dropped a few degrees in temperature on us. It's supposed to hit like 53 today, but I don't know. Maybe by way late this afternoon. Well, after we got back home, probably. It likes to do that to us. I don't even know if I'm still recording, to be honest with you, but if I am, welcome back. We're now heading north instead of heading south. Because sadly, they don't have a Panera Bread on the west side of the city. Because that would have been great. We could have just head straight up the Midland Trail, but I don't have one over there towards Manitou at all. And the other one they have down this way at all is, or down that way at all, is clear over off of Nevada in the Southgate area. And that one's just a royal pain in the bottom end to get to. It's not, you got to do weird little back streets and all kinds of alleyways and stuff just to get over there because the sidewalks are terrible. You don't even want to get in the traffic because it's just immense. Like I said, we've been fighting the ice on this trail quite a bit. Well, our problem's been that we've had, you know, several little snowfalls. It just starts to get cleared up like it is now. Boom, we get 2 to 3 inches, and it's been doing that for about 2 weeks now. So I mean, our last video was January 1st. So I guess it hasn't been that long then. Seems like it's been a long time, but I guess it's only been a week. But today was the first day that, and we could have got out yesterday, but it was like 10 degrees colder yesterday, so we don't really have the gear for really, really cold weather. Our gear's good down to about, I hear 30 and sunny is about as low as we could go with our gear. Because the heavy winter gear, all the Gore-Tex stuff is really expensive. Out of our budget. So we just layer up a lot. But I've got to get Joe a new set of ski bibs because when we went on Joe's diabetic food plan, I lost about 30 pounds. So the ones I had were so big that I can actually now fit Joe's old ones, and Joe needs smaller ones. So we gotta get her over to REI or something like that, or Dick's Sporting Goods, someplace that would have ski bibs. Start checking those out next month because they should start well, actually you probably have to wait another couple of months, but sometime about the end of March into April, that's when they usually throw all their, you know, stuff that they didn't sell on sale. So we might be able to find something we could semi afford. Yeah, probably. But the sun definitely feels much better. Well, we used to have a set of toe warmers apiece. They basically slide over the toes of your shoes, and they have an open slot on the bottom for your cleats. But I couldn't find them this year. I don't know what we did with them. Sure didn't ever mean to throw them away, that's for sure. I mean, we didn't use them a lot, but you know, when you need them, kind of nice to have them. So we're gonna have to get some more because the full booties are really expensive. Like 70 bucks for a set, you know. That's the problem when you're buying for two, you know. Everything's doubled in price, so. And so we go up here and catch Panera Street, take that over to Pike Street Greenway. Oh, okay, so at least on the other side there is a bus stop. It's just a sign. You still haven't put a stop back over here. You got one on the other side. Yeah, it says Metro underneath that red sign over there. I don't think they've fixed this yet, so we'll have to go on the road. Never quite make it to the top part of the hill here, but got most of it this time. And now we're going to pick up the Pikes Peak Greenway. This will take us all the way to where we want to go, to the University Village, Colorado Center. We'll get a nice hot tea and to go along with our brown bag lunch, consisting of the infamous sugar-free jelly and low sugar, low sodium peanut butter on whole wheat bread, a banana, and some really good tangy flavored crisps that are made out of lentils. We used to get the ones that were made out of peas, but we found these ones made out of lentils, which I guess is a kind of a bean. And they've got a really, like a tomato, sweet tomato basil coating on them. Boy, they are good. They've become our favorites. We didn't try them for a long time because I figured that, I figured they'd be spicy, but they're not spicy. It's just really, really good. Feels good to be at the sun out. Yeah, this goes right along, pretty much right along Fountain Creek. We got several bicycles behind us. Actually, there's only 3. Looks like more for a second. Morning. As you can see, everybody passes us. Joe and I are not fast anymore. Well, Joe never was fast. I used to be faster, but I'm not anymore. Sad to say, but I think my ankylosing spondylitis arthritis is catching up with me in my old age and kind of kicking my butt. According to my doctor, I have anemia. I always thought if you were anemic, you just needed more iron, but my iron's fine. She had me going to a hematologist, which is like a blood specialist kind of doctor. And it was really scary because hematologists hang out at cancer centers, you know, so it's like, oh Lord, please, dear God, don't give me cancer. I don't want that. But they did a whole bunch of tests and they couldn't find anything. The doctor there, the hematologist, said that he thought maybe it was just because I've been fighting this this arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. Because my first diagnosis was reactive arthritis, and then now I guess I've graduated to ankylosing spondylitis. There's Fountain Creek right there. This is the Popsicle Bridge here, named because there's a really cool organization here in Colorado Springs called Kids on Bikes, and they get kids on bikes. You know, they have you know, they have put on events where the kids can borrow a bike, but they also get with manufacturers and get new bikes. And so, like, they'll give a whole elementary school class, you know, if they do good grades and have good attendance, you know, they'll give them a bike at the end of the year. So but they have a ride once a month, and it ends up at the Popsicle Bridge, and the people that put it on bring popsicles, so that's how it got to be called the Popsicle Bridge. Yeah, now we're transitioning from the South Pike Street Greenway to the North Pike Street Greenway. Bit of downhill here. Got this Trevex bridge we got to cross. Passing on your left. One more behind me. Have a good day. Morning. Love the shoes. I would love to find me some yellow bicycle shoes. Yellow is my favorite color. Although I have to admit, a lot of the newer blues have kind of jumped up on me. A lot of the, you know, automobiles, the blues are gorgeous, man. They're just really pretty. Used to be the blues were dull, you know, and the reds were bright, and the yellow now and then, but yeah, the blues are really good. But yellow's still my favorite color. Probably going to be a little bit of ice here on the cement bridge. And then probably a puddle on the other end. There's usually a puddle over here. More ice than puddle today. Which is good. I'd rather have the ice than the puddle. The ice is not such a, not such a huge deal when you're on the trike, as long as you're careful and you don't do anything silly like jump on the brakes or try to speed up real quick. Trikes are pretty steady on ice, you know. Now, if you go ripping down a hill and jump on the brakes, it's going to be ugly. A going to be very ugly. You're probably going to crash, because they will go sideways. But as long as you're careful, I'm not quite sure what you do if you hit a, you know, a big downhill and all of a sudden it was covered with ice, you know, because you're going to gain speed, but you don't want to touch your brake. I mean, I guess all you can do is kind of feather the brakes absolutely the same, because there's no rear brake on tadpole trikes. If you see a rear brake, it's actually usually a parking brake. And it can either be, you know, a regular type brake or disc brake. Most of the trikes just have little locking levers on the little locking pins on the brake levers that keep the pressure on the whatever type of brakes you've got. But some of the more expensive trikes actually have, you know, like the old V brake against the rim, or they have a disc brake in the back that's just strictly a parking brake. I guess tadpole style trikes, which is what ours are, you know, 2 wheels in front, 1 wheel in back, I guess they're really unsteady in the braking department. If you had a rear brake, it pulls one way or the other really bad. Where we have brakes on the front wheels, we both have discs on these bikes, so that's where your braking power is on a tadpole style trike. Yeah, the only bad thing is there's a lot of snow and ice still on this trail, so by this afternoon, now that the sun finally decided to come out, this will get really sloppy, and it will be draining all the way across. Ugh. Morning.
Hey there.
But yeah, like I've acknowledged before, the Pikes Peak Greenway is actually 3 trails. It starts way south, just north of the town of Fountain, Colorado, at the what do they call that? The Fountain Regional Nature Center. Starts there, then it goes all the way through Colorado Springs, and then it goes up to turns in, and once in Colorado Springs, it's actually the Monument Valley Trail. And then once you get to well, around Woodman Avenue in Colorado Springs, it turns into the new Santa Fe Trail. I don't know why they call it Santa Fe, but they do. It's the new Santa Fe Trail. And that'll take you up to Monument and then up to Palmer Lake. The only problem is that it's, a lot of parts of it are steep. You know, the new Santa Fe Trail are steep, and you know, kind of, you know, a lot of places some pretty thick gravel. So I don't know, you know, it seems like other trikes don't have any problems. Neither one of our trikes like that thick gravel. Man, we can be on a flat surface and just stop. You know, we just can't get any traction, even with the slightly knobbyish tire we have on the back. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is, but I know a lot of the other people, though, a lot of trikes have e-assist. And it's one thing where e-assist is really nice, because on deeper gravel, you know, you can just hit your e-assist and it will power you through the deeper gravel, where if you don't have the assist, you know, you can't spin hard enough to make it keep going. so you get stuck, which is a bummer. It's a major bummer. Like I said, I don't know if I'm recording or not. I doubt it, because the battery only lasts about an hour. But I didn't use it very long getting down there. So I might be. There's, like I said, Fountain Creek down there. A whole bunch of ducks. They're on a little sandbar. And a bunch of Canadian geese up here, just on the other side of the man-made rock falls. We have a lot of they put a lot of these man-made rock falls along Fountain Creek to kind of slow it down, churn it up a bit, you know. I guess the churning it up actually kind of helps the water clean itself a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's clean. I would not drink out of it. Not directly out of it. You probably get Giardia or whatever they call that stuff, or Salmonella or E. coli or something. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to drink straight out of it. Not unless you have one of them fancy ultrasonic or ultraviolet water filters or something, you know. Even then I'd be skeptical. So yeah, we're just cruising now. Does feel a lot better since that sun came out though. Stuff's still cold though. My feet are still pretty chilled, and my hands are still, even with the thicker gloves. And these are pretty, you know, I mean, these are nice gloves. I mean, these are specialized Gore-Tex wind stoppers, you know, but I don't know. My old age, my hands just don't warm up much. I guess that's bad circulation, but I don't feel like I have bad circulation. It doesn't take much for my hands and my feet both to be quite cold. Lots of bikes out today. Howdy. Lots of bikes out today. Yeah, it's really cool in the wintertime how the sun really glistens off Fountain Creek. Makes that old nasty creek look nice. Sad to say though, that old nasty creek is our main water supply. Now of course, you know, before we get it, they filter the snot out of it, but yeah, pretty day. It's one thing I do, you know, that's one of the best things about southern Colorado. You know, we actually technically live in a semi-arid area, which means that we're, you know, about halfway between, you know, an arid area or a desert and a forest, I guess. And so usually, you know, we'll get a snow, and then, you know, 2 or 3 days it'll be gone. But of course, like I said, we had really weird weather, stuff coming in from California, and it just it wouldn't let it it wasn't warm long enough for it to melt everything, so it just kind of piled on. It wasn't a lot of snow at times, you know, 2 inches there, 3 inches there, but it just kept right on top of each other, you know. So a lot of that, what happens is though, is it melts just enough to turn it to ice. And then, like my wife said, you got a snow and ice sandwich. You know, you know, you got a layer on snow on top, and a layer of ice, a layer of snow, a layer of ice. This is the bridge going over to the Templeton Gap Trail. That heads east, kind of northeast, I guess, northeast, I guess you'd call it. And that's a fun trail. The sign's just totally toasted. They need to replace that. But now we're going on the older asphalt part. of the Pikes of the Monument Valley Trail part of the Pikes Peak Greenway. Like I said, it's a nice day now. It really is a nice day. It's not real windy, thank goodness. If it was windy, it'd really be bad. Like I said, we enjoyed our time with Austin and Hannah from Fox Channel 21. We got to tell them a little history, because they've both only been here for about 6 months. So we told them all about America the Beautiful Park and how it started out as Confluence Park. That was the name of it because it was the confluence of two different creeks, Douglas Creek and Fountain Creek. And so they called it Confluence Park, and then they decided to name it America the Beautiful. Park. Which the name fits it really well because it has a really good view of Pikes Peak, you know, which is America's mountain. And the song America the Beautiful was actually written, or actually penned by a lady named Kathleen Lee Bates, I think it is. I know it's Kathleen Bates, it might not be Lee, but I think it's Kathleen Lee Bates. And you know, she put the words together when she was on top of Pikes Peak. So it does fit pretty well. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of snow here. It hasn't melted off that much. The trail's in pretty good shape, and there's some icy places like right here, but this is an older section. I hit the asphalt. It's only 8 feet wide. Most of it's in pretty good shape right here, but you can tell there's spots where the tree roots have gotten to it. Especially right up here around the corner. There's a real couple of bucky spots, as we call it, because it's like a bucking bronco. Yeah, here they come right here. So the only way to fight them if you don't have suspension is don't go fast. Because the harder you hit it, the more it's going to make the trike want to jump, you know. If you hit it slow, it just kind of flops over it nicely. Yeah, starting to feel some good life in my hands. A little bit in the toes. The toes are still a little bit cold though, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, we have, just like every place else, you know, we've got lots of homeless camps. Anytime you get anywhere near, you know, around a creek or something where they can hide, you know, they make sure they get in there. And they take over too, and they just leave. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if they at least had trash bags and they could clean up their trash, you know, and haul out their own trash, but they don't, you know, they just lay it there, you know, and live in it. It's just yuck. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't. I would have to, whose ever butt I had to kiss to be able to stay in a shelter at night, I'd be kissing it. I admit it. I do not like the cold. I mean, if it was up to, if our budget could afford it, we'd be in Tucson, Arizona right now. we wouldn't be in Colorado Springs. Not in the winter. We'd come back to Colorado Springs from, well, first of all, we'd have a toy hauler RV, and but we'd come back to Colorado Springs in May, first part of May, and be here through probably the third week of October, and then for the rest of the late fall and the winter, we'd be in Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, a really great 80-mile long loop trail there that be fantastic. Passing on your left. One more behind me. Passing on your left, although very slowly. Have a good day.
Does it still faster than me?
Just barely. Yeah, uphill. The only problem is, when we were doing the interview, we were standing for quite a while. I got cold, and boy, it's amazing how long it takes this old body. I'm 67. It takes this old body to recuperate, and you get back out on the trail after standing around a while. You know, you're doing all that. And all of a sudden you got to go up hills, you know, or up inclines, and it's like, it tires you right out. Go over here and wait for Joe. Alright. Well, if we're still recording, this is the Pikeview Reservoir. Just water storage for the city. I think they got 2 or 3 of these small reservoirs. Joe.